Hello there. Do you find yourself speaking too fast sometimes, like getting all the words out really quickly and just needing to get them all out, and then you're very flustered? Oh, let's just slow down for a second. So, do you find yourself speaking too quickly sometimes? The words are tumbling out, there's kind of a rush to get them out, and you're not necessarily as coherent as you'd like, and perhaps there's a bit of a feeling of overwhelm or embarrassment or even remorse afterwards, like, oh, I did it again, why did I speak so fast? If you sometimes speak too fast in a group or one-on-one, this episode is for you. Let's go there. Speaking too fast can be career limiting. It can be embarrassing. So what this involves is, let's call it an anxiety pattern that drives our communication, where a whole lot of stuff comes out really quickly. I've worked with a lot of people who speak too fast and worked on the pattern. It's a deep nervous system pattern and a particular kind of conditioning where all the words tumble out really quickly. We feel that we need to speak really fast at some kind of unconscious level, let's call it, and the pattern is embedded. But the problem is that it's deeply career limiting. It can sabotage your ability to communicate in relationships. It's not a, let's just, I don't know how else to put this, but it's not a great look to be speeding through your words. It generally is a bit of a tell that looks like we lack confidence, perhaps lack grounding or gravitas, and so we may be taken less seriously and will definitely feel less heard when we're speeding like this. And it can then lead to a rejection of the way that we communicate and a feeling like the way that we express ourselves is never good enough, and so then a pattern of shutting down and self-shaming and feeling regret, and then that increases the anxiety so that the next time we speak, we end up speaking really quickly once again. And so one can get really stuck in a pattern of speaking too fast. But I would really love you to know that you don't have to be stuck in this pattern. It's work-onable, so we're going to be talking about the how in a moment. Before we go any further, I'd love you to like and subscribe to this channel, help me beat the algorithm, and just get this work out there. So, how do you deal with speaking too fast and motor mouthing a little bit? And how do you slow down, get grounded, and express what you want to express clearly, confidently, calmly, within a body that feels settled? I'm going to give you some tips that I've found really, really work for people for overcoming speaking too quickly. Step number 1 is to recognize what's happening in your body and nervous system. Basically, what's going on here is that the whole system has gone into fight or flight. We've moved into our sympathetic nervous system, which is, again, fight or flight. There's adrenaline in the body. The heart rate is up. We might have a little bit of sweating or blushing going on, which are, again, sympathetic nervous system indicators. And what's really happening is that all of the glucose is moving into our muscles so we can run away or fight. And that's not a great place to be speaking from. So that's causing us to speed up. It's also causing contraction in our vocal cords and this kind of tightness in the throat and so on. It's not ideal to communicate with others from within our sympathetic nervous system. So what we want to do is regulate ourselves down into a state of calm. Slow down from our sympathetic nervous system down into what's called our ventral vagal state, which is really a God-given, let's just say, mammal state where we are totally able to connect with each other. We feel regulated and settled and comfy and able to just speak at our own pace, grounded, and you could potentially even say heart-centered. So the ventral vagal state is within polyvagal theory, and so I'd really love to just put that as a kind of a standard to set for oneself, that when we're communicating with others, we want to be in our ventral vagal. How do you know if you're there? You feel settled, calm, comfortable, and grounded. And so down-regulating your nervous system out of that anxiety response is your first responsibility. Using breathing, alternate leg tapping, so you can share a lot of these tools on my channel. You'll find some of them linked at the very end of this video, resources for you to follow. Right, so that's step number 1 for getting out of speaking too quickly. The second step is to decondition the pattern. The pattern's been around for a long time, presumably. It usually started in childhood, in our family of origin, and then potentially accelerated at school. I don't know your story, but that's usually how it works. And so there's a lot of wiring, almost hardwiring for this pattern. And so we begin to decondition the pattern. I normally, when I'm working with individuals or groups, work with EFT tapping and other tools to then begin to recognize, work on, and make the pattern really conscious. Instead of it just takes me over and then I feel so bad afterwards, I feel all the remorse and all the things and then on repeat forever. We're going to just keep doing that. We start to decondition the pattern so that we develop consciousness around it, and we reduce the shame we have about it, especially reduce the self-judgment about it. We tend to reject this part of ourselves, so we want to get back there and embrace this part. So decondition the whole pattern. Step number 3 is work on the shame hangover. The shame hangover is it happened, I spoke too fast, and then afterwards I judge myself, I replay the conversation, the bad feelings inside, remorse, regret, nasty self-talk, I'm the worst, see I shouldn't speak up, there's no point, all of that kind of stuff. Decondition that to make it neutral so you don't actually care that you spoke too fast. There's no need to feel terrible afterwards, but we have a pattern of doing that. So we want to dismantle the shame response, because that shame response is part of what creates the whole cycle, what keeps it in place. The shame hangover is part of what perpetuates it. So as soon as you go into that shame and remorse, it's time to do some work to dismantle the shame and remorse. So we can be like, I did it again, sue me. I spoke quickly. I feel okay though. And that's what we want to work towards, because that will decrease the anxiety the next time. Step number 3, talking about the next time, is look at the whole timeline. What I mean by the timeline, and this is within the Radiant Voices process that I teach and I share with my clients, is before, during an event, and after. So let's just say you've got a speaking event, you've got a meeting, and you really want to show up as your best self. Already before the meeting, perhaps you've got ramping anxiety. Don't arrive at the meeting on level 9000 in fight or flight, because you're going to speak quickly. You're not going to speak coherently. Dismantle the upward curve so that instead it's like, whew, slow down, okay. So I use, again, EFT and a number of tools for that, but work on that ramp. Don't arrive at a meeting totally anxious. Do the work beforehand. Obviously, the second part of the timeline is to regulate and breathe and so on during the middle of the event while you're speaking. Get grounded, get settled, get comfy. Come on home into the body and settle in. And then step 3 of the timeline really is just that dismantle the shame hangover afterwards. Don't let that continue to exist. Okay, I hope that was really, really useful. Let me know in the comments below. I know that you can completely change this pattern if you're one of those people that speaks too fast, or you've just got issues in the way you express yourself. You can heal it, you can change it. People do all the time. If you struggle to believe that you can change, go to my website, read the testimonials, and you'll see just people are changing. People are healing this and developing a sense of confidence and grounded calm when expressing themselves. In the work that I do, I like to say that anyone can heal a shutdown voice or speaking too quickly or all of the shame and remorse and any of those kind of things and the lack of confidence. All of that can be turned around into patterns of speaking with confidence, clarity, a sense of grounded, I'm in my body and I feel settled, and a sense of being able to express with authority and clarity and be trustworthy. And really the core of this, and this is really one of the promises I like to express, is the idea that all of us, it's our birthright essentially to feel calm and settled and confident in our own skin. And that's the point of this work, is to get back in here and feel good inside and be able to share ourselves with others in a way that feels safe and fun, a little bit playful and powerful at the same time. I'm sending you much love. Take good care.